What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So we had a crazy drop from Bitcoin in the crypto market, and that definitely affected MSTR, yesterday. You can see that it's still getting rejected from that 360 level, and that led to a large sell-off. This is the 360 level right here. It was prior support multiple times, confirmed as resistance multiple times. So you cannot be long-term bullish until you see a break above that level, because it can always go up to that level, get rejected again, and then we get to sell off one more time. So anyway, so we were previously below this downward trend line. The channel or the downtrend was moving at this angle, and then price broke through it. As you can see here, got rejected from the 360 level. Now we are closing back below it. So another red day like Friday will definitely confirm that this trend line is back into play. Other than that, you can also just readjust it, right? This is called discretionary, technical analysis. So, the trend can just be wider, and it still makes sense because even if you draw a trend channel, it's a parallel line that fits pretty good on the opposite side. As you can see here, price bounced here, here, and here. Now it looks like we're going back down to make a new low. So the downtrend still is in effect, right? We're making lower lows and lower highs. So downtrend is still in effect for MSTR, and most likely it might take out this prior low at the 287 level, 289 level, whatever, and enter like the 270s. I don't think this is going to just bottom here and reverse. Is that possible? It is possible, but I don't think it's probable. I don't think it's likely to occur. Price is still mostly below the EMA. We're inside this downward channel. We got rejected from the 360 level. We didn't find a lot of support from the 320s. You can see that price broke through, broke up, broke through. So it's not really acting as a support level or even a resistance level at this moment in time. So MSTR is still looking bearish. Now let's take a look at the whole picture. We are at the same price level as in November 12th of last year. So just another month, we have seen no gains at all. That's not typical of a bull market or a bull cycle for us, any stock. So that's not a good sign. So let's draw a macro bull a range for this structure, and you can see how well it's fitting inside this range. We go from the highs to the lows, lows to the highs. We had a fail breakout, and now it looks like it's coming back down to the lows. So it looks like a big M formation. So it looks like it's still tracking down towards lows. Right around the lows are at the 230s, 240s. So in my opinion, looking at the chart, MSTR is still bearish based on being below the 360 level, mostly staying below the EMA. We have a downward channel in play. A lot of room to the downside, not a lot of support as well. Macro range patterns. So, these are all bearish signs. You can draw a trend line off those lows. We had 1, 2, 3, and it looks like we just kind of back tested it multiple times for resistance. As you can see here, this trend line fits pretty good. Back tested it here and here, double test, and now it looks like it's selling off. So basically, I think MSTR is still looking bearish. I'm looking for the low, obviously the high 280s now, or the high 200s, and then probably right around here, the 240s. So we can put like a little circle right around that area. So right around here, probably the zone, the 240s as of right now. That's what just the chart is telling me. It looks like we're going to see cheaper prices in MSTR. Me personally, I am not in this stock. I used to be, but I got out. And I'm looking to re-enter. I still really like this company long term. Long term, I think it's going to be really good. As long as it can survive that Bitcoin bear market that's approaching, which I think it will. It's already survived one already. I think, it's a stronger company now, so most likely it will. I'm just saying that's something fundamentally you need to keep an eye on. But anyway, yeah, this company, if it continues dropping down lower, we can look for a macro measure move target as well. So you take this leg right here. That's all one drop. Price had a correction up, and then it struggled to go any higher. That's where the second leg would start from, targeting right at the 144 level. So, it's targeting probably the high 200s, mid to low 200s, and then the mid 100s, and possibly even lower. I mean, if I can get this stock at $100 per share, that would be pretty good. I think a lot of people want to buy in at lower prices as well. There's a lot of people who bought, at these lower levels, and they want to start getting out and protecting what profit they have made, and that's going to add fuel to the fire for this drop. So anything that goes up really quickly can go down really quickly, but you have to also think about people who bought at lower prices. They're still in profit, right? If you bought at, let's say, 136, let's say you bought exactly 1 year ago, October 11th, October 10th, technically, which would be like right around here, $191. Let's say just $200. You're still up about 55%. So that's pretty impressive 1 year gains, 55%. So they want to protect that. They don't want to lose any more. So that's going to add fuel to the fire. So MSTR, I think it's still looking bearish, especially it's closing at the lows on Friday. Bitcoin. Now let's see what happened on Bitcoin. Well, this was actually predictable. I wouldn't say this crash was predictable, but definitely a drop was predictable. And I was talking to my friend about it, and I told him, and we definitely did see lower prices. So let's go over the reasons why. Well, basically, we had a triple top, right? We had this high right here. You drag a line over, and price was struggling to push through that. You see that we had a high right here, a double top led to a sell-off, and then price had a massive rally up. It looked very strong, but even with that massive strong rally, you could draw a trend line as well. Price was still barely clearing that high, which is not a good sign. So when I started seeing that correction form, I was like, okay, well, it's kind of too early to see this type of correction. I don't want to see it below the highs. I want to see it above the highs like this and then move up higher. So seeing it at the highs, that's not typically a good sign. And then when I saw Friday's candle form, I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of a prolonged correction. I don't want to see it drop this much down. If it dropped a little bit, that's fine. But this much, now it looks like we can start reversing lower. And that's exactly what happened. So basically, the candle just got larger and larger as time went on. And then we just went back down to the lows, the support. So it makes complete sense of what happened. Basically, we are in a range pattern, right? We go from the highs to the lows, lows to the highs. It's just going through the EMA, up above it, below it, up above it, below it. So it's just a range pattern right here. So a crash down was not, you could say predictable, but definitely a drop down. Maybe we would have got there in a few more days, but instead it just happened in one day. We went back down to lows of the range. So that's basically what's happened for Bitcoin. Basically, it's stuck in a range. It's not looking bullish anymore as of right now in the short term. I would need to see a strong break above 123 to be really bullish once again. And me personally, I am out of my short-term trade for Bitcoin. Like I rotated into Bitcoin from MSTR. That is out at a slight profit, pretty much break even with fees. So that was like at 116. I was like 118. I got out at my average was 116 something. I got out, and a few hours later, I see it crash down lower. So it was kind of crazy that happened. But anyway, yes, I don't like what I'm seeing on the chart. Long term, I still obviously have my long term Bitcoin. I think long term it's still pretty good. It's just wasting a lot of time. You can draw a channel off the swing low, something like that. That fits pretty good. So, it's not the best fitting channel, but it is something. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that this correction can continue more, right? We can continue maybe lower towards the $90,000 level right over here. Because we hit one side of a channel, it might be working its way to the opposite side, which is right around the 90,000 level. Just like over here, we hit the highs, we went to lows, then we went up to the highs, we can go down to lows, and then maybe we see a final run up, something like that. So that's what's likely to occur. I don't think, we're just going to see a V bottom reversal. Like we're going to see a lot of, really good traders actually are saying this is just a fake out. I don't think it's a fake out, right? Like a fake out would have been we are above the all-time highs, then we crash at support or prior resistance to make support, and then we move up higher. That would be a fake out. This is not a fake out. This is confirming resistance. This is a triple top formation in a mature uptrend, which is not a good sign at all. Not something you want to see. You do not want to see something like this. I'm not saying it's the end. Obviously, we can still recover within a few days, but you're just adding, more and more unlikely signs to the chart of it recovering as time goes on. So basically, this is not a good sign for Bitcoin. probably just trade more sideways if that's probably the most bullish. That's probably a more likely case. For the bulls, you'd want it to just trade sideways, but if anything, I think it's going to continue making new lows. I think it's going to completely wipe out these lows and probably break down lower, probably towards these lows right here, 97,000. Again, that's my prediction. Obviously, we're still trapped in this box, and most likely you can just trade in this box. But I don't expect it just to immediately just pop up higher for some reason. I don't think that's what traders are looking at, right? They're like, okay, well, we just saw a massive red candle after it took weeks to get up there, and now we just wiped it out. So I don't think this is like a fake out. I think this is a real thing. High volatility is followed by more high volatility, so expect that to happen. And I think they're probably going to use that high volatility to continue to break down lower, especially looking at the macro chart. We always hit the highs, go down lows, highs, lows, highs. Next probable location is the lows. So right over here, if we see good signs, that's when we could probably see the breakout higher. And obviously, there's a couple more signs I can look at. There was a failure to reach a measure move target. You see that the bulls made one leg up right here. This was a correction lower, made the second leg up. This was the first attempt at that target at 136 that failed. I think it was like 135, 135. So one leg up, pull back. First attempt higher, failed. Second attempt higher, failed. Saw a massive drop, reset the market. So we saw one leg up higher, fail, one leg up higher, pull back, first attempt. All this would now be a first attempt right here. And this was the second attempt, failed, second attempt of the second attempt, or third push up, failed. So basically, it's showing a lot of weakness to reach the 136 level. You see that the bulls tried one time here, two times, three times, and that's showing signs of weakness. So overall, Bitcoin wasting more time for October. I think we're already like slightly down. So see what happens, but I just don't like what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. I think it's better to go lower quickly, and then we can reverse strongly. But I don't think that's going to happen from over here. I think we need to see lower prices first before we go even higher, unfortunately, for Bitcoin. And then the ratio against Bitcoin's price, MSTR's price, obviously we saw a huge drop. Bitcoin's still, tracking this uptrend, as you can see here. So overall, it's still showing it can continue to outperform MSTR in the long term. It just needs to clear this peak. It already had a failed breakout, but it's still recovering. So I expect it to continue to outperform MSTR. So all I have for Bitcoin, MSTR, Bitcoin's against MSTR charts today. And see you guys next week. This is Vee Trades. Thank you for your time.